Today is an exceptionally boring day. Pretty much from noon till 5, all I am doing is meetings. A lot of them are interviews with actors. They're not like traditional auditions because I like to actually know I like the actor before I hold an audition. Like if you can't work with them, there's no reason to hold an audition in the first place. So this is kind of an initial meeting just between me and the actor. And if it goes well, then of course I'll send them to all the rest of the crew and that sort of thing, and maybe they'll audition for something. But today is pretty much just that. I also have a meeting with one of my clients, but that's usually fine. It's just, today's pretty much just meetings. I mean, I guess I am taking So to cheer later, but even when I'm at cheer with her, I have another meeting. So today's not gonna be all that fun. So I'm just about to jump on my first meeting here at noon, and as I've been working this morning, I don't have the office anymore because Emily has the office, so I work right here at the kitchen table, which we don't actually eat at, so it's really more of an office table than it is a kitchen table. But as I sit here, I stare at the window, and I stare at what's just the most beautiful, amazing view, but also very heart-wrenching. Actually, here, let me just show you. If you can... If you look here out the window, I spend all day staring at that beautiful blue pool. I just want to swim in it so bad, but they don't open until Friday, hypothetically. I haven't gotten any emails about it yet. Usually they open on Memorial Day weekend, but of course last year they pushed it back until like July. They're not going to push it back that far this year, but I just love swimming so much. All I want to do is jump in that wonderful, amazing pool. And it's heart-wrenching to just stare at it all day. So, here's to surviving. So I just finished my second interview, and going into interviews, even though I'm on the interviewer side, not the interviewee, is still absolutely nerve-wracking. I think there's just something about meeting people that just makes me incredibly nervous and being around people. I think that's why I love being a sort of homebody, or wasn't really bothered by the fact that we're in quarantine for like a year, because I like being around people. I just don't like the idea of being around people, because once the interview starts, I have a lot of fun. And even when I was interviewee, I enjoyed doing those kind of things, and I enjoy meeting new people. I just don't really like the idea of it, I guess, but these interviews have gone really well. I mean, I haven't like prepared anything, which my producer or the other director or the assistant director, really anyone else on the project probably would have. They would have had a list of questions, and they would have had some sort of like regulations, so it's all like similar. I don't do that, which maybe it's just the creative in me, or maybe it's out of laziness, but I'm not interested in that sort of thing. I think if you want to be, if you want to act in a film, you should just be a good person to work around. And if they're good to work around, they're willing to work for this insane project, then that's really all I care about. Now, of course, on future projects, maybe I care more, but for the time being, I mean, as long as they want to be in my film, who am I to say? So does that make these interviews kind of pointless or meaningless or just arbitrary or just busy work? Maybe a little bit. I mean, I'll literally work with anyone if they're willing to work on this project. But I do think it's good to kind of get a feel and kind of get comfortable with these actors. Because whether they want to work on the project or not, it's good to kind of, poke around and see what the interest level is and how to make it better and how to make it work. So is this a waste of time? I mean, it's not a waste of time. So, I'm going to keep doing it for the time being. I probably won't do this endlessly. It's not like I'm meeting with hundreds of people. I'm meeting with like 10 people. It's not a large amount of people, but I'm meeting with enough that I kind of get an idea and, figure out who wants to go where. And if this is a good idea, I don't know, but it's what I'm doing. The more I meet with actors, the more I talk to people who are excited about this project, and who interview because they actually want to be part of it. It's very surreal, because when I was making my other films, I had to really convince people to work on them, and this is the first time people are excited to work on my project, which is strange. Now, a lot of them don't have the script yet, so maybe they'll see the script and be like, I don't really want to work on this project, but it's a very surreal feeling to be wanted, I guess, or your project to be wanted for the art that you make, to not have to force on people to actually want to read it. it's a strange experience, and I'm excited, and I love this idea of working with people who genuinely want to work on the project. So here's hoping it goes well. I am at the grocery store because Emily decided she wanted salmon for dinner, and even though we have tons of food at home, she demanded salmon. I also had to get a watermelon. I couldn't get I had to actually get a whole watermelon because that's all they had, which is just, it sucks to cut up, but that's all they had. So I'm gonna get that and salmon and some other stuff, which is fine, but I guess it's better if Emily came with me, because then it'd be a whole thing. So here's the grocery shopping. Well, I did indeed conquer the grocery store. The line was obnoxiously long. I had to carry that watermelon around in a basket because I refused to get a cart, which I regretted immediately, and had to carry that giant watermelon around the whole store. But I did it and waited in an obnoxiously long line because apparently 6:55 is the time to get groceries, which who knew? Why don't people get groceries on the weekends? I guess, I don't know. But I got the groceries, and I'm going home to see Emily, who hopefully won't be mad because I didn't have the drink she wanted, but it should be fine.